Lewis Hamilton's sensational move to Ferrari was arguably the most seismic driver transfer in recent Formula One memory. It captured the imagination of fans around the globe. The sport's most decorated driver teaming up with its most iconic team in pursuit of glory. It was a headline writer's dream and a marketing department's jackpot. For the Tifosi, it was the promise of a long-awaited revival. For Hamilton, a chance to chase one final title in red, etching his name deeper into the history books. And yet, a few months into the 2025 season, that dream has begun to unravel in a way that neither party could have foreseen. The results haven't lived up to the billing, the chemistry hasn't clicked yet, and the car just hasn't delivered the platform needed for either Hamilton or Ferrari to truly thrive. Let's examine why things have gone sideways, and what it says about the bigger picture in Maranello. The Miami Grand Prix weekend gave us a snapshot of the disconnect. On the surface, it was a weekend where Ferrari didn't necessarily make operational blunders, the kind of strategic face bombs we've seen in previous years, but the outcome still fell short. Former F1 driver and analyst Jolyon Palmer offered a detailed breakdown of the event, and his analysis helped shed light on where things are truly going wrong. Take the sprint race, for instance. It started in dramatic fashion. Charles Leclerc crashed on the way to the grid, aquaplaning in treacherous conditions, while Lewis Hamilton went on to finish in the top three, his best moment yet in a Ferrari. The decision to run intermediate tires on the outlap seemed risky at the time, but it wasn't devoid of logic. For sprints, drivers only have one shot to reach the grid, unlike full Grands Prix where multiple reconnaissance laps are common. In theory, the inters made sense, given the short race distance and the limited utility of full wet tires. But the timing of the downpour caught Ferrari off guard, and the optics of Leclerc crashing while on a high-risk tire choice added fuel to a familiar narrative, Ferrari getting it wrong. Yet this wasn't a case of classic pit wall misjudgment. Ferrari actually handled the rest of the weekend well from a strategic and procedural standpoint. They had solid pit stops, responded effectively during the virtual safety car period, and gave both drivers a fair shot. The issue was more fundamental: pace. Plain and simple, Ferrari didn't have it. Not enough to threaten the likes of McLaren, Red Bull, or even Mercedes in consistent race conditions. Hamilton's sprint podium was less a sign of Ferrari dominance and more a consequence of smart tire gambles and clever driving. When the track dried, Hamilton was the first main runner to switch to slicks, aside from Yuki Tsunoda, who had started from the pit lane, and that move paid dividends. Hamilton looked more like his old self, attacking corners, smiling again, and enjoying some semblance of control over his race. But what really stood out was how much he had been struggling in damp conditions just before that. Hamilton, known for his excellence in mixed weather, looked tentative and lacked grip. The car just wasn't cooperating, especially in the rear. This brings us to the core of Ferrari's 2025 problems. There's something inherently flawed in the SF25's ability to generate downforce consistently. The rear instability that has plagued Hamilton at Mercedes seems to have followed him to Maranello. While Leclerc has been able to extract better qualifying results at certain circuits, Hamilton has struggled to find confidence in the car, particularly at corner entry. That's a red flag. The Miami main race brought another dimension to the frustration. During the final stint, the Ferrari pit wall faced criticism for not allowing Hamilton past Leclerc quickly enough, potentially wasting the peak performance of Hamilton's medium tires. But Palmer argues this criticism is somewhat misplaced. Once Hamilton was allowed through, he didn't actually go faster. That suggests Ferrari's decision-making wasn't illogical. They simply weren't working with a competitive enough package to make a real impact. Even the much-debated team radio exchanges, some of which have gone viral, need to be put into context. The perceived tension between drivers and engineers stems not from chaos, but from cumulative frustration. From the opening race in Melbourne to the tea break chatter in Miami, what we're hearing is a reflection of mounting disappointment. It's not dysfunction, it's disillusionment. In many ways, Ferrari have been the season's biggest underachievers so far. After ending 2024 with momentum and securing Hamilton's signature, expectations were sky high. Their car in China looked genuinely fast. Hamilton won the sprint and felt confident for the first time this year. Then, the entire narrative collapsed overnight. Hamilton's disqualification for excessive plank were exposed the fragility of Ferrari's performance window. Like many cars in this ground effect era, the SF25 is highly sensitive to ride height. The lower you can run it, the more grip you generate via ground effect. But go too low, and you breach the FIA's legality limits. That's what happened in China. The problem is that Ferrari seems more performance-dependent on this lower ride height than most teams. Once they raise the car to stay within legal tolerances, they lose a significant chunk of downforce, and, with it, competitiveness. It's a knife-edge setup dilemma with no easy fix. The car feels alive and quick when it's running low, but the moment they play it safe, it becomes unbalanced, especially at the rear. We saw this in Miami qualifying. Onboard shots showed Hamilton countersteering mid-corner, fighting both ends of the car, especially the rear. That's not how you build lap time. That's how you lose it. Despite the recent floor upgrade introduced by Ferrari, the intended aerodynamic gains haven't materialized consistently. Bahrain and Jeddah offered glimmers of hope with Leclerc, but the issues persist. For Hamilton, this echoes his final seasons at Mercedes. The 2022 and 2023 cars were also plagued by rear-end unpredictability. He's had to adapt his driving style to suit inconsistent balance, sacrificing his preferred high-speed corner entry aggression in favor of a more measured, cautious approach. He began reworking his inputs earlier this year in Melbourne, trying to tame the car's nervous behavior, but the process is clearly ongoing. Beyond the physical car setup, Hamilton is also adjusting to a new race engineer, Riccardo Adami. While Adami is a seasoned Ferrari veteran, building the kind of intuitive understanding that Hamilton had with Peter Bonington at Mercedes takes time. Communication styles, timing, confidence, these are crucial elements in elite driver-engineer relationships. Right now, it's still a work in progress. What adds another layer of complexity is Ferrari's standing in the midfield. They're not comfortably second best like they were at times last year. Now, they're scrapping with Aston Martin, Haas, and occasionally Williams. The rise of McLaren as a consistent frontrunner has also squeezed Ferrari's breathing room. Kimi Antonelli, the teenage Mercedes rookie, has already shown he's no pushover. In Miami, he comfortably stayed ahead of both Ferraris. That's a worrying benchmark. As the European leg of the season begins, starting with Ferrari's home race at Imola, the pressure is only going to intensify, not just from fans, but internally as well. This is a team that desperately needs a win, not just to appease their loyal followers, but to validate the massive investment in bringing Hamilton on board. The upcoming triple header will be a true litmus test. Imola, Monaco, and Barcelona require a combination of mechanical grip, aerodynamic balance, and precision setup execution. Right now, Ferrari is struggling in all three departments. Still, there are positives. Ferrari's operational side is no longer a punchline. Their pit stops have been among the fastest on the grid. Their strategy calls, while not always perfect, show a maturity that's been lacking in past seasons. And in Hamilton and Leclerc, they arguably have the most experienced and talented driver pairing on the grid. The potential is there. It just needs to be unlocked. To do that, Ferrari must focus relentlessly on development. The floor upgrade must be refined. The car's sensitivity to ride height needs addressing. Hamilton needs a more predictable rear end. And the team needs to give both drivers a stable platform that doesn't require them to constantly drive around the car's weaknesses. If they can do that, victories are still possible. Hamilton hasn't lost his edge. He's simply in a car that doesn't suit him yet. Leclerc hasn't given up. He's just searching for consistency. Together, they can still be the team's best shot at ending a championship drought that has haunted Maranello since 2008. What this all comes down to is patience and process. Ferrari's struggles in 2025 aren't the result of one bad call or one underperforming component. It's a complex mix of aerodynamic sensitivity, setup compromise, driver adaptation, and the natural growing pains that come with integrating a new superstar into a team that's still learning how to win again. So as we look ahead, the focus shouldn't just be on what went wrong in Miami. The real story is still unfolding. And if Ferrari can piece it all together, if they can stabilize the car, empower the drivers, and unify behind a clear direction, then perhaps we'll see the resurgence we've all been waiting for. Because make no mistake, the Hamilton-Ferrari story isn't over. It's only just begun. Hello, McLaren faithfuls. Stand a chance of winning $1,000 by hitting that like button. Drop a comment below and subscribe so you never miss any McLaren and F1 updates with relaxing ASMR elements. McLaren Faithful's YouTube channel is now covered in English and multiple languages. Your support is what keeps this incredible community growing stronger every day. It costs you nothing to like and subscribe, but it helps the channel tremendously. Let's continue the conversation and share our passion for McLaren and F1 together. As a YouTube member, you can also discover my journey as a passionate creator navigating life with challenging disabilities. Despite the obstacles, I'm determined to follow my dreams and share my love for McLaren and F1 with the world. By becoming a YouTube member, you'll not only be supporting my dream, but you'll also gain access to exclusive content, including untold stories of legendary F1 drivers and much more. Your support can truly make a difference in my life, helping me continue to do what I love. Join McLaren Faithful's membership below and enjoy.